Hello everybody, welcome to another installment of Life Stories. My name is Trent, and as usual, I hope you guys are all doing great. Today, we got some stories coming at you from, you may have guessed it, Reddit/idontworkherelady. So, let's not keep it any longer and get it started. Our first story of the day is titled, Always, in So Many Places. So, for some reason, I always get mistaken for an employee, the most absurd of places. I've been stopped in every type of shop. Tech, men's clothing, women's clothing, accessories, home, department. It probably occurs 10 to 20 times a year, either as staff or manager. Here's just a few of the most bizarre. So I'm in M&S Food. University days, fair enough. A lot of the staff are students, but staff wear black. I have a purple shirt on. An elderly woman asks where the cheese is. I just picked some up, so I show her around the corner. I turn around, and there are now 3 people in a queue waiting for help. I help them and go buy my things. Next, I was in the local Sainsbury's looking for a sandwich and got caught out with the hunger. There's a tennis club around the corner. A 15-year-old starts asking me questions. I'm confused at first, then say, "Sorry, I don't work here." His embarrassment ensues, and so do the apologies. I tell him it's fine. He then looks at me and feels even worse. The tennis club around the corner. That's where I'm off to, in shorts, shirt, and a tennis bag on my back. Next up, I was at a home furnishing shop with a partner. I'm not particularly paying attention, answering messages in my work shirt on a way to my job, complete with brand of a tech store emblazoned on my shirt. A woman walks past and asks if I know where the curtain hooks are. "No, sorry," I say, and she walks off. My partner finishes, and we go to the till. The staff member says, "The woman complained about you." I look at her, puzzled. She expands. "She complained to me that my manager doesn't know where the curtain hooks are. I told her I wouldn't expect him to. He works at ABCD across the road." Next up, I worked for a retail store. Our parent company had 2 brands. One day, I'm in the other brand's store looking at stereos, taking notes. A store member approaches, asking if I needed help quite persistently. I say, "No, I'm fine." She returns 2 minutes later. "Are you looking to buy from name of the company?" "No, I just work there. I'm buying for me," I say. She walks away, puzzled, and comes back 2 minutes later. "Are you from head office?" I'm actually getting quite impatient. "No, I'm just buying for myself. Yes, I work across the road, but I'm on the way to work, but I'm buying for me." She walks away, puzzled again. Next up, at a DIY shop, I had a customer approach and assume at first that they were just unsure what bulb they needed, so I answered her initial question. But it expanded. She became very sure by the end and thought I was a staff. When she walked away, she saw a staff member in their uniform, looked back to take a double take at me, and was confused. Next up, I was at a hospital outpatient appointment for internal pain, talking to the doctor about what I'd been through and some self-tests. After I explain, she says, "Are you a nurse?" For a final story, I was in Boots, looking for antihistamines. Someone walks up to me and starts muttering, "Sorry," then starts to complain about the length of queues and how no one was helping her. I tell her I don't work there and I'm not a manager, which only makes her then complain about me and how I should have told her. I'll leave it there for now. This guy must have some kind of weird superpower to get consistently confused like this, because I've never seen anything like this. I bet the list goes on and on and on. Moving along, our next story is titled, Get Off My Stairs. This was a long time ago. Think mid-80s. I was in college and lived on campus in the dorms. Now, like most colleges do, there were buildings on campus that were available to rent for various purposes. And on this particular weekend, it seems that our big auditorium had been rented out to one of those groups in the 80s that were very popular for teaching you self-confidence techniques, and then roping you into marketing the classes to all your friends. I was leaving our gym building, directly across the street from said auditorium, and heading back to my dorm one Saturday night, when I was unexpectedly accosted by a middle-aged woman. "You can't be here," she told me, stabbing a finger at me. "What?" I said, rather bemused. I'd lived on campus for going on 3 years now. This was my home. "You can't be here. This is private property. Get out." I believe I replied along the lines of, "The heck? I was only developing my potty mouth at the time and had not yet evolved into today's standards.
How dare you! Don't you use such language! You're on my property!
The hell, lady? Who are you? I ask. I knew who the president of the college was. This wasn't her. None of the instructors would make that kind of claim, even if they were around on a Saturday. And about now, I spotted the lanyard around her neck that identified her as one of the attendees of the class across the street.
Don't question me. You're on my property. You have no rights to be here. Leave now.
Now, she'd been clearly working her way up to this. It was kind of like watching a kettle build up ahead of steam, except she was starting to sag a little, because I was not reacting the way she was expecting.
I got news for you, chickie, I said. Technically, you're on my property. I live here. Do you even know the name of this building?
I gestured to the gym. She started looking like a deer in headlights, and her eyes started darting around looking for a sign. It happened to be up over her head, so she totally missed it. Where's your student ID card? Who the F do you think you are coming up to a stranger and claiming you own the freaking place? Her head kinda shrunk down onto her neck, and she starts sliding nervously towards the auditorium across the street.
Oh, so you're one of those a-holes. You're on my turf. Go on, get out of here. Go scurry back to your redacted, BS redacted group before I get you kicked off my campus.
And at this point, I began to hone my potty mouth skills as she scurried off into the auditorium, completely deflated. I came to find out that this self-help group in particular was notorious for pumping up their attendees and then sending them out to confront random strangers as some bizarre form of confidence builder. Just her bad luck that she met bad attitude me. I don't know about you guys, but that is not the kind of TED Talk I would want to attend. And moving along, our next story is titled, Every Day We Wear Black. As a lifetime service industry employee, it's pretty typical to wear black as a uniform. Black blouse, black slacks or jeans, black dress, and black shoes. As a makeup artist for Paul Mitchell, we must also wear black as a uniform for, well, uniformity. But also as to not cast colors onto anything, or anyone being worked on, especially on a set. Working in a medi-spa meant scrubs, and much to my utter shock and surprise, they too were black. I bet you can see where this might be going. I wear black practically every day, from head to toe, but trendily or fashionably as to look less emo or goth, and more stylish, or possibly a very angsty witch. Thank you, AHS Coven. So, there I was, elbows deep in a car full of colorful clothes, spiraling deeply into an abyss of color possibilities. Blue goes with black, white goes with black, red goes with black. I'm 6'3", so I have to try everything on, and I'm near the dressing room, about to try on my first haul, when I get yelled at.
Excuse me,
some crotchety old voice says to nobody in particular.
Excuse me, could you put that down and open a register?
I hope someone helps her. Her voice is grating.
Excuse me, you're needed over here.
I look up from my rainbow clothing vomit spilling out of my tiny cart to see several women looking at me, then back at the woman talking. Surely she's not talking to me. I can't believe she just ignored me.
Excuse me, are you deaf? Open a register. This line is too long.
Surely she does mean me, and I can't believe she'd talk to an employee like that. Wait, yes I can. I look back up, and an actual employee asks me if I need anything, probably wondering why this woman is demanding I open a register. Like I have some kind of superpower that gives me permission to do whatever I want. I think that woman thinks I work here, I tell the employee. I know, I've been watching her get mad from behind the fitting room. I can't open a register unless the manager asks us to. There's only 3 of us today, so I doubt she'll do that. The yelling woman sees us talking and gets pissed. She storms over, and being about 5'4", picks the short staffer as a result.
I've been waiting in line for 20 minutes,
even though it was actually more like 5,
telling your staff to open a register, and she's just been ignoring me. I want to speak to your manager.
Finally, the employee breaks down and says, "Ma'am, she doesn't work here. I don't know what gave you that impression, since she's not wearing a lanyard or anything with our logo on it. She doesn't have the authority to open a register, as she's not employed here." I joke and say, "Every POS is the same. Horrible." To which Screamy Karen loses her crap.
and says, "I'm telling your manager you called me a piece of crap. You're going to lose your job." The employee is about to laugh, but obviously trying not to, and instead has a huge smile and says, "Ma'am? Ma'am? Hello, hi. She doesn't work here. A POS is point of sale, which is what we call a register." "You don't even work here? Then why are you dressed like that? Why didn't you say so?"
"Because that isn't my job either," I said. She lost her place in line and had to wait longer. I tried on my cart of clothes and found many things that go with black. This isn't the first or last time I've been accused of being employed somewhere, but definitely one of the more fun, less scary incidents. I typically get mistaken for management or a cop. Could only imagine the look on the Karen's face when she sees that even the employee could barely hold in his laughter. Must have been great. Anyway, with that story out of the way, we are out of time for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I want to thank all of you so much for tuning into Life Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Reddit content coming your way. My name is Trent, and I hope to see you guys soon.